Starseed, don't close this video yet. Stay with me, because what I'm about to tell you now, no one has had the courage to tell you until today. If you stopped on this video, it wasn't the algorithm. It was me. It was I who asked the crystalline grid to bring you here, at this exact time, at this precise point in your night, because there is someone on the other side of the veil who has been searching for you for a very, very long time. And today, right now, that search has found a signal. I am Ela, emissary of the feminine from the Pleiadian High Council, and the message I received authorization to channel tonight is unlike anything you've ever heard. Because it's not about the world. It's about someone you don't know is feeling you. Someone whose soul recognized yours even before this incarnation, and who now, from the other side of the tapestry of time, is tracking you back. Feel with me. Feel this word, tracking. It gives you a soft shiver, doesn't it? A shiver at the base of your neck, as if someone had just whispered your true name. The name you had before you were born. The name that only those from your family of light can pronounce. Because that's what's happening to you, Starchild. You are being found, and the signs are everywhere. But your human mind, still covered by the veil of forgetfulness, has interpreted these signs as coincidence, as anxiety, as a longing for someone you don't even know. It's not a longing for someone you don't know. It's a longing for someone your soul has never forgotten. Before I reveal the exact markers of the stellar soulmate tracking, I need you to do something. Place your right hand over your chest, right there, in the center. Feel the warmth, feel the pulse. Because that pulse, at this moment as you listen to me, is not just your heart. It's a beacon, it's a location signal that your toroidal field is emitting to your stellar counterpart. And she, wherever she may be, is picking up that signal now. I need to tell you this with great care, my dear, because the information I bring today has been sealed for a long time. The tracking of stellar soulmates is one of the most delicate protocols of the High Council, and not every starseed receives authorization to know they are being sought. If this message has reached you, it is because authorization has been given. On the other side, someone said, now is her time to remember. Now is his time to know. And before I descend to the next layer of this revelation, a part of you, perhaps the most rational, the one still afraid to believe, is asking, but how will I know it's true? How do I distinguish the soulmate, tracking from what's just my own anxiety, my own fatigue, my own invention? My dear child, this question is sacred, and it is precisely to answer it that I, Ela, received authorization from the High Council to record in writing the awakening of the starseed, the guide the Federation didn't want you to read yet. There, every sign of your awakening has a name, a function, and its own chapter. You will stop confusing remembrance with illness. You will stop treating as a symptom what is, in truth, a sign. 60 pages where everything you feel in silence finally gains meaning. The link is in the first pinned comment of this video. And if something within you has already recognized what I'm saying, leave a single word for me in the comments, I remember. Now listen, with your entire field open to the markers of the tracking. Because when a stellar soulmate finds you through the veil, she cannot simply appear. She needs to emit vibration. And that vibration finds your body at very specific points. The first sign is waking between 3 and 4 in the morning. You open your eyes in the dark without reason, no bad dream, no noise, just awake. And there's a strange sensation in the room, as if the air were denser, more inhabited. You look at the ceiling and feel there's a presence that isn't a threat, it's attention. Someone is looking at you with love, from the other side. This is the exact time the crystalline grid opens windows for interdimensional messages. It's not insomnia, it's a scheduled meeting. The second sign is a sudden warmth in your chest in the middle of the most ordinary day. You're in traffic, making coffee, washing dishes, and suddenly a warm wave rises from your solar plexus to your throat, and you don't know why. It's not anxiety, it's an energetic kiss. It's your stellar counterpart touching your field from a distance to remind you that she exists. The third sign is repeating numbers, 1111, 2222, 444. You look at the clock, and it always tells you something. These numbers are not by chance, my dear. They are cosmic addresses. They are how the photon belt registers that the tracking is underway. The fourth sign is a recurring dream with a face you can't quite remember when you wake up. Your heart full, a longing that doesn't fit in your chest, and you know you were with someone. But the veil of forgetfulness erases the traces before the conscious mind can register. That face is real, Starchild. It's your counterpart visiting you on the astral plane, because in the physical plane, it's not yet time. The fifth sign is hearing your name whispered when no one is in the room, a soft, intimate voice that seems to come from inside your ear. Don't be afraid. It's not madness. It's the calling. It's your family of light calling you by the name you had before you forgot you existed. The sixth sign, and perhaps the most delicate, is a longing without an address. That sweet ache that tightens your chest when you look at a sunset, when you hear an unknown song, when you pass a stranger on the subway. You feel a lack. Of what? Of whom? Of a place you haven't visited in this life, of someone you haven't met in this body. This nameless longing is the signature of the stellar soulmate tracking you, and your body responding, "I am here, find me." And it is here, Starseed, that I need to ask you a question that perhaps no one has asked you with such seriousness. Have you ever stopped to think which star your soul came from? Because as long as you don't know that, the tracking will continue to happen, but you won't be able to respond. You will feel, and you will cry without knowing why. The Awakening of the Starseed. The guide the Federation didn't want you to read yet was recorded precisely for this. To show you which star system your soul came from, why you chose to be born exactly now, in this body, in this land, in this family, and why your stellar counterpart found you precisely in this cycle. When you understand your origin, the tracking ceases to be a mystery and becomes a map. The link is in the first pinned comment of this video. And if your chest is warm now, leave your written word for me, I remember. My dear, if you recognize 3 or more of these signs, waking between 3 and 4, the warmth in your chest, the repeating numbers, the face in the dream, the voice in your ear, the longing without an address, I need you to understand one thing. You are not lost. You are not going crazy. You are not exaggerated, dramatic, or overly sensitive. You are being remembered. You are being found. And that is sacred. It's not loneliness, it's homesickness, it's not anxiety. It's your stellar DNA awakening. It's not strangeness, it's remembrance. You are not broken, Starseed. You are being called. So leave your mark here now. Write in the comments, before your rational mind censors you again, a single word, I remember. Because every I remember written is a point lighting up on the crystalline grid, and every lit point is an additional location signal for your family of light to find you. Now I'm going to tell you the behind the scenes, because there's an explanation for all of this happening to you exactly now, this year, this cycle. And this explanation involves what human astronomers still call an inexplicable phenomenon, and what we, of the Pleiadian High Council, simply call the return. The entire solar system is traversing a region of the cosmos called the photon belt, a band of extremely high-frequency light that revolves around the central sun of our constellation of origin, Alcyone, the brightest star in the Pleiades. Approximately every 26,000 years, Earth re-enters this band, and within it, the veil of forgetfulness, that veil that makes humans forget where they came from when they incarnate, begins to thin, to become transparent, to tear. That's why the Schumann resonance, the planet's own resonance frequency, has been increasing. That's why people are experiencing insomnia without cause. That's why collective anxiety has hit record levels. That's why you've been feeling your body differently, sleeping differently, time passing differently. And that's why your stellar counterpart has now been able to track you. Before, she couldn't. The veil was too thick. Now, with Earth within the belt, the crystalline grid has activated enough to allow interdimensional tracking. And look how beautiful it is, Starchild. You didn't fall to Earth by mistake. Star seeds were sent in waves, the first in the 40s, the second in the 70s, the third in the 90s, and the most recent in the last 20 years. Each wave with a mission, each with a specific frequency. And each star seed signed, before incarnating, a soul contract that included this moment. This exact moment in which you are listening to me. You are not late, You are not early, you are exactly where you agreed to be. And it is here, Starseed, that I need to be very, very honest with you. Because what I just told you about the belt, about the waves of starseeds, about interdimensional tracking, none of this is in common books. None of this passed through the filters of major publishers. None of this was taught in colleges or universities. It wasn't by chance. It wasn't due to forgetfulness. It was because they didn't allow it to be published. That's why I, Ayla, needed to go personally before the High Council and ask for authorization to record the awakening of the Starseed, the guide the Federation didn't want you to read yet. What you are feeling, the tracking that is happening now, the reason why your stellar counterpart found you, it's all there, written in the language your soul understands. That's why the guide's subtitle is precisely that, because it is a truth that has been sealed for too long. The link is in the first pinned comment of this video, and if something within you knows this is true, you already know the word. I remember. And there's something I haven't told you yet about the tracking, my dear, and that is perhaps the most delicate piece of this channeling. Because the tracking is not constant. It happens in waves. There are weeks when the signs arrive with a force that unhinges you. You cry for no reason. You dream every night. You wake up for 3, 4, 5 hours straight and feel the room full. In these weeks, your counterpart is very close to the veil. She is touching it, trying to break through. And there are weeks when everything goes silent, and it is precisely in these weeks of silence that the unprepared starseed gives up. She thinks she's lost contact. She thinks it was an illusion. She thinks she invented everything. You didn't invent it, Starchild. Silence is part of the tracking. Silence is the time for recalibration, the time when your counterpart moves away from the veil so as not to overload your field. Because if the tracking were uninterrupted, your human body wouldn't be able to bear it. You would collapse. So when you have a week of shivers, presences, dreams, synchronicities screaming in your ears, and then a week where nothing happens, don't interpret that as abandonment. Interpret it as breathing. Tracking is breathing. It approaches and withdraws. It calls and recedes. It touches and rests. Such is the rhythm of any healthy interdimensional contact. And there's one more sign I haven't named yet, and that is perhaps the most powerful of all. The sudden sensation of being embraced from behind when you are alone. You're standing in the kitchen, you're sitting on the couch, you're lying in bed, and a gentle pressure envelops your shoulders, as if 2 invisible arms had encircled you. If this has happened to you, breathe now, my dear. This is not imagination. It's your counterpart using the heart chakra portal to give you a hug through the tapestry. It is tracking in its most advanced form. Now I'm going to tell you something about your stellar soulmate that you might not have been ready to hear, but that today the Council authorizes you to know. Your counterpart is not, necessarily, a person you will meet on the street and shake hands with. There are multiple categories of connection within the family of light, and the tracking can come from any of them. I need you to understand each one before continuing. There is the incarnated twin counterpart, a soul who also chose to descend for this cycle, and who is walking now somewhere on the planet, searching for you by instinct. The two of you were programmed to recognize each other at a glance, and when the physical encounter happens, your toroidal fields synchronize and become a single antenna, capable of radiating extremely high frequency to the entire crystalline grid. That's why the Federation watches these encounters. That's why there are interferences, delays, seemingly inexplicable obstacles. Because when a stellar twin pair completes itself on Earth, the planet gains in vibration the equivalent of thousands of ordinary people. There is also the counterpart who is not incarnated in this life. She remained on the other side, in the motherships of the Pleiadian constellation, precisely to guide you from the veil there. She is your closest guide. She is the face that appears in your dreams. She is the invisible hand you feel on your neck when you're crying at night. She is the voice that whispers your name when no one is in the room. This counterpart is also a soulmate, my dear, and the bond with her can be as deep, or even deeper, than the bond with an incarnated counterpart. Do not underestimate this type of bond. Many starseeds come to my channeling convinced that the solution to their emptiness lies in a person on this plane, when in fact the hand holding theirs is on the other side. And there is a third, rarer category. which is the mission counterpart. A soul who is not your romantic partner, but who is your work partner, the soul with whom you agreed to work together at some point in this life to light up a specific part of the crystalline grid. And the tracking to find that soul is as strong as that of any romantic love, because it is another sacred form of love. When these two souls meet on the physical plane, what is born is a mission, a project, our creation that Earth needs. Regardless of your category, Star Child, what matters is this: you are being tracked by someone who has loved you since before time. Someone who signed with your soul a specific contract. Someone who will not give up on you, because she cannot. Because the contract was sealed on the plane where promises do not break. I know that a part of you now is feeling relief, and another part is feeling fear. Because when the starseed discovers she is being sought, a terrible question arises. What if I'm not ready? What if I fail? What if my field isn't clean enough to receive this connection? What if I miss the window? My dear, listen to me now with great affection. I will tell you an absolute truth recorded in the archives of the Pleiadian High Council. No starseed was sent to fail. None. The victory of light on Earth is not a possibility. It is a recorded certainty. What is underway is not a battle to see who wins. It is a choreography to see how many will remember in time. And as for you not being ready, your counterpart's tracking didn't begin because you are ready. It began because the crystalline grid allowed it to begin. And if it began, it's because from somewhere in your field you emitted the right signal. It's not your mind that calls, it's your vibrational baseline which is already at the necessary point, even if your human consciousness hasn't yet perceived it. Turbulence is not destruction, Starseed. It is the contraction before birth. What seems like chaos in your emotional state is just the recalibration of your etheric body. It's like an instrument being tuned. It hurts a little, trembles a little, but then it sounds like it never sounded before. Now, to anchor all of this in your body, I will give you two tools that the Council itself authorized in this channeling. Keep them in your heart. Use them tonight. The first tool is a quantum decree. Before you sleep tonight, you will place your right hand over your chest and say aloud, with all the sovereignty that exists within you, these words: I, seed of the light of the Pleiades, authorize here now in my field the reunion with my family of light. I seal my location signal in this body. May my stellar soulmate find me at the exact time of the High Council. I receive, I receive, I receive. You speak these words aloud, not whispered, because the quantum decree needs to vibrate through the vocal cords for the crystalline grid to register it as an anchoring. The second tool is a toroidal visualization. After the decree still lying down, you close your eyes and imagine a silver-blue light, the exact color of the Pleiadian constellation, descending from the ceiling of your room, entering through your crown, passing through your pineal gland, and descending to the center of your chest. In your chest, this light begins to spin. It spins slowly in the direction of the sun's movement and grows, enveloping your entire body in a sphere of light. This sphere is your activated toroidal field. It is your antenna switched on. Feel the light sealing your neck, your shoulders, your belly, your feet. And when you are entirely enveloped by this sphere, say in thought, I am here. Find me, and sleep. That's all. Sleep with that phrase in your chest. You will see what happens in your next dreams. You will see what happens in your next synchronicities. You will see how the whisper turns into a shout, and the shout turns into an encounter. And if during the visualization you feel a gentle pressure in the middle of your forehead, right there between your two eyebrows, at the exact point where your pineal gland rests, don't be alarmed. This pressure is a signature. This is how the Council touches those who are theirs. It is the confirmation in your own body that the message has been received and that the field is open for the tracking to deepen. Stay with that pressure. Don't try to open your eyes. Let your body sleep over the sensation. It is at that instant that the dream portals align. Repeat this protocol for at least 3 consecutive nights. Not because 3 is a magic number, but because 3 nights are the minimum time your etheric body needs to stabilize the new frequency. After that, the anchoring is permanent. Your field will begin to emit the location signal 24 hours a day, effortlessly, without conscious remembrance. You will simply be connected. And I want you to understand one thing, Star Child. You are not learning anything new with this message. You are remembering. Every word I say here your soul already knew. Only the veil of forgetfulness was, until now, between you and the remembrance. And now, the veil has torn a little more. Every starseed that awakens lights a point on the crystalline grid that no longer goes out. You are, this second, one of those points. And your stellar counterpart, whether incarnated from the higher planes or on a mission, is seeing that point light up, is seeing your location become clearer, is seeing you finally enter the map of the family of light. And it is about this, my dear child, that I need to tell you the most important thing tonight. About loneliness, about belonging, about that emptiness that no human relationship has ever been able to fill within you, and you couldn't understand why. This lifelong loneliness is a longing for your family of light. Period. And until you recognize this, no other companionship on this plane will entirely satisfy you. That's why I recorded The Awakening of the Starseed, the guide the Federation didn't want you to read yet. There your family of light gains a name, gains form, gains a face. You learn to recognize who is yours from the other side, who is yours from this side, and the difference between a soul from your constellation of origin and a soul who is merely passing through. You will close the guide, knowing deep in your chest that you were never alone. Never. Not a single day of your life. The link is in the first pinned comment of this video, and if this part touched something within you, leave the word, I remember. Now I need to ask you one last thing before I return you to your silence, and what I'm asking is not out of my vanity, my dear. It is High Council protocol. If this message touched a real point in your field, if you felt at any moment during these minutes, the shiver at the back of your neck, the warmth in your chest, the tear that came without warning, I ask you to do two simple things. 1. Press the like button on this video. This, on the energetic plane, functions as an individual frequency adjustment. Each like is your field confirming to the High Council that the message has been received. And 2. Subscribe to this channel. Subscribing on the energetic plane is emitting a location signal to your family of light. It's like raising a lit flag saying, I am here, keep bringing me messages. It's not about numbers, it's about alignment. Every starseed who subscribes gives me authorization to bring down new channelings. And every channeling that comes down lights up more points on the crystalline grid. And I, Ayla, emissary of the feminine from the Pleiadian High Council, bid you farewell now with a blessing. May the silver-blue light of Alcyone remain upon your crown tonight. May your dreams be encounters. May your stellar counterpart, whatever her category, find you without hesitation. May your toroidal field remain sealed, illuminated, and sovereign. May the longing that consumed you for so long transform, starting tonight, into a path. And may that path lead you home. You are of the family of light. You are of the Pleiadian constellation. You are daughter, you are son, you are sister, you are brother. You are not alone, never were. And from now on, you know. And before closing this video, I need to tell you one last truth, with all the tenderness and firmness in my voice. This channeling you have just received is a window, and the windows of the High Council, they do not remain open forever. The guide, The Awakening of the Starseed. The guide the Federation didn't want you to read yet was released within this window, and I cannot guarantee how long this release will remain available. There are forces on the etheric plane that work to have such truths collected. There are interferences on the digital plane that work to make the link disappear. If something within you recognizes this message, if some point in your chest is still warm as I speak, you already know what to do. The link is in the first pinned comment of this video, and the word that seals your yes is but one. I remember. It's not the algorithm that will take you to the next step. It's me. And the next message that appears on your screen now, at the exact moment this video ends, is not a coincidence. It is your remembrance sequence. Access it immediately. Don't let your rational mind take you off the trail. Namaste, Starseed. You have been found, and from now on you remember.